Thought I'd make a short video of some of the restaurants around Crystal Shores for those of you traveling to Marco Island. Some of these are within easy walking distance. We'll start with one of the more well-known ones. This is Pincher's. Pincher's, think kind of like a Red Lobster. It's seafood. It's a chain restaurant. It's right across the street from Crystal Shores. Has a pretty good selection and is reasonably priced. The food here is pretty decent. They have indoor-outdoor seating. If you use Welp, you can also join their wait list, so you can get a seat a little quicker. If you like something a little bit more upscale, there's Marco Prime. This is in the same parking lot as Pincher's, right across the street from Crystal Shores. If you're driving, they do have valet parking. That makes it a little bit easier. Marco Prime has indoor and outdoor seating. This is more high-end, more expensive dining. We have eaten here before in the past. They have really good service, good menu, good selection, and it's an enjoyable meal. There's also the Salty Dog Sports Bar and Grill, and I have to admit I've never eaten here, I've never had a drink or anything, but it is across the street from Crystal Shores. Kind of a little outdoor bar with courtyard seating, and this is in the same area as Marco Prime and Pincher's. If you like Tex-Mex, there's Nacho Mama's. This is next door to Marco Prime, same little shopping center across the street from Crystal Shores. Again, indoor and outdoor seating. Another more high-end restaurant in this same little shopping mall is the Oyster Society. Once again, as you can see, they have some nice outdoor seating and some indoor seating. And then next door to that, we have Da Vinci's. Da Vinci is a Italian restaurant, again within easy walking distance of Crystal Shores, right across the street. Some lovely courtyard seating, outdoor seating there, as well as indoor seating if maybe the temperature's a little too hot for you. A little further down the street is one of our favorites, at least for breakfast. This is La Tavola. They're now serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When we were there, they had just started serving breakfast maybe about 6 weeks ago. There you can see Crystal Shores in the background, so you can see how close we are to them. They do have a little bit of outdoor seating. Not really any kind of a view unless you like looking at the street, but it's nice, a nice little courtyard outdoor seating. Indoors is more elegant, and they do serve, like I said, breakfast, lunch, and supper. This is the outdoor seating area at La Tavola. They have a really nice bar inside. I wanted to get some video of it, but never managed to do so. When I could, I took a little bit of video of some of our breakfast entrees. This was the Mexican hash at La Tavola with 2 eggs and toast. Further down the street on Collier is a restaurant called Stonewall's. We've eaten here in the past. It's not one of my favorites. It's really more kind of a version of Panera. You order at the counter, go find a table, and they'll bring your food to you. It does seem to be popular amongst a lot of people, though. Another one of our favorites for lunch and dinner is CJ's on the Bay. Now, CJ's has 2 areas. What we're looking at here is the outdoor bar area. And as you can see, there's quite a few tables around this. In the late afternoon, it gets busy. This is walk up and seat yourself. It can get pretty busy in the late afternoons, and sometimes it's hard to find a seat. We like to sit outdoors because, as you can see, it has a really nice view of the bay. We have eaten at the indoor restaurant also. They have a nice menu, reasonable prices, and good food. One of my wife's favorites at CJ's is their beet salad. She gets this basically pretty much every time we go. This time I chose the mahi sandwich with the french fries. And as you can see, it's a reasonable sandwich. Not stuffed, but reasonable. Another really popular breakfast spot is Doreen's Breakfast and Lunch. Can't say that I've ever eaten lunch here. When we were here in March, if you weren't there very, very early, you were gonna wait 20, 30, 40 minutes for a table. In December, it's not quite so busy. As you can see, they have a large outdoor patio seating area. Again, not much of a view unless you like looking at Collier Boulevard. Inside is a nicely decorated interior. My wife this day had the ham and eggs. Very small piece of ham though. And it was a little tough. She didn't enjoy it. I went with the build your own omelet. The cheesy potatoes were really good. I think this is probably the first time I've had anything like scallop potatoes for breakfast, and that's essentially what they were. But it's a nice place to eat, a little bit of a tourist trap. We're Starbucks aficionados, but the Starbucks on Marco Island is really bad, as much as I hate to say it. So we found this little place called Wake Up Marco. It's a locally owned coffee shop. They serve some really nice coffee. Sorry about my finger there, guys. Small interior. He also has some pastries in the little pastry counter. Most everything in this is kind of walk up and everybody takes it out. Not a lot of people sitting inside. And he does a kind of a nice job with your coffee. This was the latte I had that day. One we found that's off of Marco Island. This is actually on the Isle of Capri. Kind of one we stumbled across this trip. This is called Island Gypsy. It is a little more difficult to find. We used Yelp and MapQuest to get us there. Probably about a 15-minute drive from the resort. But this is a really nice little restaurant. It is all open air, nice bar. On a hot day, it's going to get a little bit warm out there. And as you can see, really kind of a nice view all the way around. My wife had the lobster Newbin, which is kind of think of a lobster roll on rye bread is really what that is. I was not as impressed with my sandwich. I love a Cuban sandwich, and unfortunately they didn't do a really good job on this Cuban. But we will go back because we really enjoyed the atmosphere. If you need souvenirs on Marco Island, there's Alvin's Island. This is a big souvenir shop. Mostly what they have in here is t-shirts and sweatshirts and bathing suits, not a tremendous amount of the cheap El Cheapo souvenirs. Sensations is directly across the street from Crystal Shores. Here you can get things like beach chairs, umbrellas. They have a lot more souvenirs available. If you've ever been to a Wings by the Beach store in Florida, this is pretty similar. If you need a few groceries or something and you don't want to spend a lot of money at the marketplace, there's a 7-Eleven across the street. So I hope you enjoyed this quick tour of some of the restaurants and stuff in the vicinity of Crystal Shores. Maybe this will give you some ideas and help you a little bit with planning your trip. Until next time, safe travels, guys.